But again, she's getting paid for this, so like I'm not expecting much from this at all.
Would you go on a second date with me without me renting you?
Oh, the game has changed. Okay, this time I'm gonna react to a really interesting video that I found online about a guy who rented a Japanese girlfriend. Before I get into the video, let me just tell you about renting a girlfriend in Japan. It's not a thing at all. It's not something that people do normally. My opinion is that it's something that probably lonely guys or otaku kind of guys do, just to get some attention from a girl. If they wanted like physical attention or something like that, there's plenty of options for Japanese guys in that realm. So I think it's more of just like an affection thing for lonely guys and maybe cute single college students or things like that do it as a part-time job. More than likely in the Tokyo area is kind of where it seems like it would be more of a thing. But yeah, this guy, he's a really big YouTuber. I've never seen anything from him before. He sounds like he's from the UK, but he has a pretty big following. So we're gonna listen to him and see what happens.
A lot of it's in Japanese, so I didn't really know what was going on, but we managed to find the girl of our dreams after a while. Here she is, Eri, and she has a little bio. She said that she's shallow. That doesn't sound great. She also said that she's natural and lacking. Well, again, doesn't sound great, but we're just going to go for you anyway. She likes alcohol, and you can also add on these extra things like holding hands, maybe a little bedrock bath, whatever that is. So yeah, anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and pay for it, and then we are going to begin the date.
So first off, just taking a look at the prices that she's charging, yeah, she's clearly doing this as a part-time job. Yeah, that's a lot of money. you know, only a lonely guy is paying that. Like for that amount, if you're coming to Japan and want like a Japanese girl experience, and you have any type of experience with girls, don't do this. Okay, my advice is go to a bar, go to a nightclub, talk to somebody that who is your type. If you're, a decently put together person, and just ask them out on a date, and tell them you want to take them out to dinner. Use basic English, a little bit of Japanese if you got it, but tell them you'll take them out to dinner, take them out to lunch. And if you spend that amount of money, like you'll have a great time and probably a lot more fun than this guy's gonna have. But he's never really dated a Japanese girl, so he probably doesn't know the difference, is what my take on this situation, how this is gonna go down is gonna be. But, from her picture, she looks not like a gold digger or anything like that. She just looks like a typical like late teens, early 20s Japanese girl who's probably doing this for some money, probably in university. My image is she's not from Tokyo because, she might live in the Tokyo area, Saitama or Western Tokyo, not like in central Tokyo, probably because the area she's willing to date in is the Shinjuku kind of area. So it seems like she will be more Western Tokyo or west of Tokyo, if you know what I'm saying. So that's more affordable area, especially for university students. So that's what my spidey sense is telling me about this situation.
I'm a little bit nervous, honestly. Uh, but I'm gonna just channel my inner Andrew Tate. I'm gonna take control of the date. This is gonna be a masterclass in dating foreign women, specifically women who don't speak English. So it's gonna be fun. We're just gonna have a good time.
I've been in Japan way too long. It's kind of weird me hearing him say like it's his first time dating foreign women, because my image is like a foreigner is like a non-Japanese person, but it is true for him. A foreign girl is someone from Japan, so it is a really interesting experience for him. And I think this is a really good experience for a really good case study for anyone who's thinking about coming to Japan. Any dude who wants to date Japanese women or stuff like that. I'm sure there's a lot that we can go over and a lot that you'll learn about um the mannerisms of Japanese women and the atmosphere of Japanese women that you're gonna need to pick up if you ever want to date or have a serious relationship or anything with a Japanese girl. You're gonna need to really focus on that. But it's interesting to hear him say foreign, because I'm foreign, but yeah, it's interesting.
Konnichiwa. Hello, nice to meet you. O genki desu ka? Good?
上手
A little bit. I'm learning. I'm learning. How are you?
I'm fine.
Oh, so your English is good. There we go. It's very good English. Yeah, better than my Japanese. You look very beautiful.
Oh, thank you. You're cool.
Yaku. That means, what does that mean? Yaku? Beautiful? Ah, okay.
Okay, so my first impressions of her, she's not my type. Number one. Number two, she's okay, average looks. She seems very ordinary, very plain Jane. Not bashing her at all, but the amount that he's paying for her, I wouldn't pay that amount of money to meet a girl like this. She doesn't really seem like she is too like witty, if you will, or she has that much to offer. She's just like, I'm here, I'm cute, if I'm your type, and hee kind of bland, kind of ordinary girl. I've dated kind of girls like this in the past, and the dates didn't go too well on my end, just meaning I wasn't too interested. After like 40 minutes, it just got really dry and it just felt like pulling teeth basically. But, he doesn't live here and he's probably just going to Harajuku maybe for the first time, wants a companion for the day, of course, make some content. And so the whole experience, more than her, I'd say the experience is going to be much more exciting for him than herself. Again, I'm not bashing her, but she's just, you know, dry toast, crackers and water as far as Japanese women go in my sense. Maybe because she's so young, maybe because where she's from, her personality, we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but I'm sensing a snooze fest of a date. One thing I noticed, like giving compliments to Japanese girls is yeah, telling a girl she's beautiful, I think is good. um Probably I would wait a little bit later, not off the beginning, because it seems more sincere, like, the later you know her, but yeah, if you're not used to the way Japanese people talk, he totally missed. She was just saying, "You're cool." He was like, "A cool? Oh, Japanese. Okay, I'm learning." She's just saying, "You're cool." That's all. Nothing special.
So, how long have you been doing the renting the girlfriend service?
3 years.
3 years. Wow. For this your job? You have no other job, or you have other job, or
My real job
yeah?
is
You have another job.
I'm a student.
Students.
Yeah.
Ah,
Master
so
student.
oh wow. So you just do this on the side to earn a little bit more money.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought so. It's her part-time job. She's a university student. So for her, even if she gets like one or two dates a month, it's totally fine to help supplement her. Yeah, and well, if she gets a couple of them, it might be enough. If depending on if she's living with her family or she might, have like a little cheap apartment or something like that. That might be enough for her. But it's probably pocket money. My guess is that she lives with her family, and this is just something to supplement her income. So yeah. I was right on that one.
So teach me some Japanese. How do I say, how are you?
お元気ですか？
Oh yeah, I knew that. I knew that. So say, how do I say, what is your name?
あなたの名前は何ですか？
Whoa.
え
Slow, slow.
あなたの
Anata
equal your
iko yuro.
you are
You are.
あなた
の
あなたの名前は
名前は
名前
Nama. All right.
名前
It's hard. I can take this. There you go. I got it.
Oh, thank you.
Look at me. Andrew Tate would be proud.
I study architecture.
Architecture.
Yeah.
Wow, very clever lady. Clever, beautiful. Wow. She's the girl of my dreams. Now I'm simping. All right. Owl Cafe must be somewhere here. All right. So not a good start. The dog cafe was fully booked. The owl cafe was fully booked. So third time lucky. Hopefully we're going to a rabbit slash mouse cafe.
So another interesting thing about this situation is the fact that they had to kind of bounce around to a few different places. If you listen to what he said, the first few places were booked, and then they found a place to go to. Now, this is, I think, another rookie mistake about dating Japanese girls. You gotta plan stuff out if you're dating a Japanese girl. It's not just like, hey, let's meet and hang out, and we'll see what happens. That really doesn't work. I did that one time on a date. It really didn't go well at all. One, because you don't know what to do here if you're new in Japan. Two, Japanese women really like a guy to take charge on a date. Not necessarily like everything, but at least have a plan put together. I'd say plan A. Plan A with the girl. Like, if you don't really know where you want to do or what you want to do, you can just let her know. Like, hey, I wanted to go this place and maybe get some lunch or cafe, but I don't know what a good cafe is. Do you know one? And then she'll help you out, but you got to at least come with an idea. You can't just be like, let's meet, and then, oh, let's go that way. Her impression of you will go down a lot, especially if you're new in Japan. Of course, if plan A doesn't work, or you need some support from her to figure stuff out, that's fine. But you got to have some idea. You can't just like, we're on the same page. Japanese women really like to be led by a guy, so you gotta take charge in that aspect. And then if after plan A, if you want, oh, why don't we, go do this or go do that? And depending on the girl's personality, she might have a suggestion as well. But you got to come with something.
Do you have other boyfriend? Or no, you're single?
Oh no, no,
No, you're
not
single. Okay, there we go. Well, she's actually single. That's amazing.
Only you.
Of course, of course.
Understanding shallow comments in Japan is really, really important about life here, especially dealing with Japanese women. Like, it's in the beginning, you think like all Japanese women are so nice and they just do everything, but she's giving them a lot of really shallow comments, not to be cold or be mean, but it's kind of like, it's called tatemae in Japanese, which means like putting on the face. So saying, she's on a date and he's paying, so of course she has to say, "No, you're the only guy and you're so great. This is what you're paying for. This is the experience that you're paying for." And it's not like cold-hearted or anything like that in many cases. It's just to present an atmosphere that makes the other person comfortable or keeps like the situation like kosher, if you will. So that's what she's doing. But I think a lot of times, and when I was new here, I thought like what I was hearing, like, "Oh, your Japanese is so good," when I only said one word. I thought that was like really, really like everyone's like, "Oh, my Japanese is the bomb." But no, actually, it's just said there to kind of placate the person. And in not always, if you think about everyone's lying to you like that, you'll get bitter. But it's not on that level. It's just more a cultural way of keep making sure everything stays smooth with the person the person or people that you're around. So if a girl says you're cute or whatever, you're gonna have to look at her atmosphere, her dead eyes, kind of give it. For me, her dead eyes and just kind of like, yeah, and voice tone for me gives it away a lot of the times. But you can tell most of the time whether it's sincere or not. Even today, it's still tough to tell all the time. It's kind of a bit of a guessing game. But in her case, she's not good at covering it up at all. This is her job. It's like, oh, I'm getting paid. Like listening to someone at McDonald's in your home country, be like, "Welcome to McDonald's. Have a nice day," or something like that. Like, they don't mean it. It's kind of more like that kind of vibe that I get from her. So she's not cold hearted at all. She's kind of seems like a nice person, but she just doesn't really have the maybe wit or the game to really like, or maybe the motivation because it's her part-time job. She's a university student. She's not really trying to be a hostess or make this her career. So she's like, I'm just trying to make a little bit of cash. The clock's ticking. I'll say whatever you want. Just all right, let's get on with it. Let's go to the hamster petting zoo or whatever we're going.
So we're gonna get the train, and as you can see, it's a little bit tricky, but I've got to take the lead, and I'm in charge, so probably should be getting a taxi, but I'm cheap, so we're getting the tube.
Like on a date in the Tokyo area, you're expected to take the train. You're gonna take the train. You don't need to splurge on taxi unless you're balling like that. But 99% of the people are taking the train to wherever they're gonna go, unless it's like after last train or something like that. But generally speaking, it's not rude at all to take the train. Train etiquette when you're on a date, I'd say, is holding hands is okay. Putting your arm around the person maybe okay. Not on the first date. I just kind of be buddy buddy with them, and definitely no kissing or hugging or anything like that. It might be fine for you, but you might not pick up that the girl is really, really nervous and embarrassed about it. So it's best just to, be buddies on the train, be train buddies if you're riding around with a person. Keep your tone, also pay attention to the way you talk, how much you talk, how loudly you talk. Put bass in your voice. You might think you're whispering, but you're not, because everyone can hear you and everyone can understand. Everyone knows like you're a foreign guy, so kind of eyes are going to be on you anyway. And the girl might feel uncomfortable because she can pick up on the atmosphere of the situation, and you might be fine, but she might be kind of nervous and be like, "Why are you so quiet?" But it's really because you're embarrassing the hell out of her.
Okay, I have a surprise for you.
Oh.
I'm going to buy you one.
Eh,
For
what?
you.
No?
No, I'm joking.
No? I don't.
Imagine if I bought him. I mean, he's 18,900, so he's actually cheaper than the dates. Is 18? Oh,
Oh,
189.
yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, no,
That's why
he's
it's
expensive. Very expensive.
Also, jokes. I think jokes are really, really a delicate thing in Japan. Like when I was here too, like I told jokes to in the beginning. I told jokes to girls that I thought would fly, but a lot of times your sarcasm goes over the heads of a lot of Japanese girls unless their English is really, really good or they're used to dealing with foreign guys. And even if they are, half the time your jokes are not gonna work, man. Don't be sarcastic. You gotta just be straightforward, straight, like basically boring. It's not going to be interesting, especially with her. Again, like I said, she just looking at her from the beginning, I knew like I wouldn't get along with her at all. Not for any fault of her own, just our personalities wouldn't mix, and she wouldn't really have anything to offer. If you notice, he's kind of giving everything. She seems like she has her own views and opinions about things, but the nature of this job kind of makes her accustomed to dealing with men who are just happy being near her, so she doesn't really have to try to do anything. She doesn't really have to offer anything up. I think to please the men that she's dealing with, which in my opinion, I'm not trying to get all like preachy about it, but I think will be detrimental to her later in her life. Dealing with other Japanese guys in her relationships. I hope I'm wrong, but because she doesn't have like a strong personality at all, and she seems like the way she talked earlier in the video about her way of thinking, she seems kind of like on the low bossy, even though she doesn't really show it, but and bossy and kind of picky. But on the surface, she's not judgmental at all. She's just kind of like bland, puts a bland face on, bland smiley face on. And that tends to work in your early to mid 20s, but later on in life, especially with her, it's gonna be kind of tough.
This is like very normal in Japan with these curtains. Yeah, it's not in England. No curtain. Yeah, but it's cool. I like it. Okay, arigato. Oh, here we go. Beer. Ridiculous. It's cold tea.
Oh,
Cheers.
cheers, cheers.
How do you say cheers in Japanese?
Kanpai.
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 Okay, kanpai.
Kanpai.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
So it's interesting watching them talk to each other. I think I used to do this when I was new to Japan too. If you really pick up on it, the pace of the conversation is totally different. He's talking at like one speed and she's talking at another speed, and they don't really match. And that normally happens a lot of time because he's talking in a Western frame of mind. Like a lot of times we kind of go back and forth with each other, repeating a lot of the same things, but you mentally got to slow down when you're talking to Japanese people, especially in English. Like, not saying like you have to be stupid or dumb yourself down, but a lot of things are implied in Japan and felt based on atmosphere. So Japanese people are actually really deep in that way, but the words that are used are very simple many times because a lot of the meaning is implied. But in this case, he's implying a lot of meaning from his words, and she's implying a lot of meaning from her atmosphere. Oh, even though she's not really that deep, but so they're just totally on different levels. But if you are talking with Japanese people or you listen to conversations between Japanese people, like TV shows, anime, Japanese movies, notice the pace that they talk in. Unless it's like an action movie or something like that, it's really kind of like slow and mundane, a lot of the stuff that they're saying. But it's felt on different levels, but they don't really have that feeling, so there's really no chemistry here at all. But again, she's getting paid for this, so like I'm not expecting much from this at all.
The
Good.
English name is no, you decide English name.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Your English name is beautiful.
Beautiful. Shy.
No, you are not shy. You're confident for a Japanese girl. You don't have an English name? You only have.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. You want me to give you an English name? Oh wow, this is a tough decision. You look like a Emily.
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 Okay.
Yeah?
I'm Emily.
Okay, now you give me a Japanese name.
Oh, yes, Japanese
Yeah.
name. なんだろう。Yuya.
Yuya. Hello guys, Yuya here, back with another video. This is my first time having Wagyu sushi. This is a Wagyu, the best steak you can get. Very high quality because of the way they feed the cow and the way it's treated. And this is also your first time. First time?
First time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Well, ladies first.
I think this was a really good exchange between them, though. Like, simple things like that to kind of bridge the culture and language gap really help. Not only with women, but just Japanese people in general. Like, what does your name mean? Where are you from? What Japanese name suits me? Why? The answers might seem very trivial and simple, but the main thing is building a rapport with someone and a connection with someone. Especially here in Japan, like people who aren't really used to dealing with foreign people tend to think that the gap between us is so huge. And from the beginning, it's like, no, 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 I can't communicate with this person at all because they're just from a completely different world than I am. But like, if the more you make those small inroads to show that you have some commonalities in your way of thinking, the more Japanese people open themselves up to you. Not only women, not only dating, just people in general. I think it's just a human thing. We want to kind of connect with people. And because Japan is an island country, even though we think of it as such a modern place, it really is an island country. So the culture here is really isolated in some ways. And if you come to Japan or deal with Japanese people, you making the effort to bridge that gap is really important. But the more important thing is you making an effort to bridge the gap in a way that suits or matches the Japanese way of thinking. I think that's the more important thing. We tend to kind of do things in a way that matches us, but here you got to kind of put Japanese people first in this sense, and that interaction with them, I think, is a really good demonstration of that. Like, if you don't do that, you might be entertained and you might feel good, but the person kind of ends up feeling distant from you, and they're just like, oh, even if you're friends or you maintain a conversation with them or a relationship with them, they kind of put you in a separate category. They don't really see you as a person that gets it unless you really do that. So interactions like that, I would have liked to see more interactions like this on their date. Um, by the way, this is a lot of Wagyu, man. Like, this is like, I'm sure she's like, oh great, I gotta eat all this stuff because remember in Japan, like people don't just eat like one dish. It's not like one Wagyu thing. It's a bunch of different items, to stimulate the palate. So she's like, okay, I just gotta eat like 25 pieces of Wagyu instead of just like getting a few small things. So I can tell he was like, we're gonna go for Wagyu and we're just only gonna eat Wagyu, but an appetizer, a few pieces of Wagyu, maybe something else, or some other expensive dishes and dessert. If she wants it, she probably want it. It would have been a lot better, but that much, like, that's like, even there's huge trays of Wagyu. Even one of those is more than enough for both of them, plus some other things. So that's kind of interesting. Like, just a table full of Wagyu is crazy here.
You're so lucky. You're getting to take a beautiful Japanese lady out. Well, let me tell you what's better than one Japanese lady is two Japanese ladies. So these are now my two Japanese girlfriends. I didn't expect this. I didn't order two, but it's happened. So yeah, may as well finish the Wagyu and then we'll move on to the next activity.
Oh, the game has changed. Oh. Okay. Okay. My opinion of her has changed completely. She knows exactly what she's doing. She knows exactly what she's doing. She knows she's got a mark. She knows she's got a sucker in this situation. Cause basically, like, for her to invite her other friend, from his side, it seems like, oh wow, I get two Japanese girls for the price of one. Yay. Her side is, oh, he's spending a bunch of money on steaks and stuff like that. Let me invite my other homegirl so she can have some food, some free food too. That's all that's going on. In a regular date, this is not happening at all. Like, unless like the girl is basically in it to get as much free stuff as she possibly can. In the middle of the date to just invite someone else, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, no, unless like he's getting some extra service or something like that, a Japanese guy is not going for that at all because, there's no benefit to that. There's no romantic possibility at all if the other friend is there. She just knows he has no idea what he's doing, and he's got money and he's a YouTuber. So let me just invite my friend and she can eat some steak too. Wow.
I've had an amazing date, but we got one more thing left to see whether I have to do a forfeit, and that's we're gonna ask her if I get to do the second date for free, not on the app, but I'm gonna ask her on Google Translate so there's no confusion, so she doesn't think I'm saying something else. Okay, so we're gonna ask, would you go on a second date with me without me renting you?
Twice. Second date?
Yeah?
Yeah, I think.
Pay or no pay?
No pay.
Oh, there we go. Ding, 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 ding.
This is this is a lot more entertaining than I thought, actually. So, he, of course, for the camera, but he tried to get her to get a second date. And it might seem on the surface like she's down to go on a second date with him, but she's not at all. If you listen carefully what she said, she's like, second date, oh, I think, which means I'll think about it. And of course, she's all smiley and stuff like that. But her atmosphere is saying like, yeah, okay. I'll holler at you, kind of thing, kind of thing. So there's no way in the world she's going on a second date with him for no money at all. I would give that like 5% chance, like unless I'm missing something completely. But again, this is her part-time job. She got some exposure. Maybe her Instagram will go up. She got, some potential other foreign customers on here. That's enough for her. She's not really interested in dealing with him at all, anything else. Not knocking him at all. I'm not saying faulting him at all, bashing him at all, bashing her at all. She's just not interested in him. It's just like her part-time gig or whatever. So, but I think it's a really interesting study in how first dates go for people who are new to Japan, and it might seem frustrating dealing with Japanese women, especially nowadays. With like, I was single before social media, before Instagram, before dating apps, so I imagine it's way more complicated now. But the faster you can understand body language and atmosphere of Japanese people, the better chance you have of actually like, making a match with somebody. And I think this was a really good example of, how these kind of situations go for someone that's new here. So let me know with a comment if you want some more advice. There's another video to help you out.